Hello, I want to welcome you all to our annual in-service training on abuse. We're following a little bit different format this year. So this particular training, we have different sections. The first presentation is going to be on the types of abuse. The goals are to understand the language used in the CMS definition of abuse. CMS is the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. Understand that we must follow the CMS definition and learn about the different types of abuse so that you are able to recognize abuse if it happens to your residents. So the CMS definition of abuse states that abuse is, number one, willful infliction of injury, unreasonable confinement, intimidation, punishment, depriving residents of goods and services necessary to their well-being. The different types of abuse include verbal, mental, physical, sexual, neglect, involuntary seclusion, and misappropriation of residents' property. So let's talk about what is verbal abuse. Verbal abuse is spoken, written, or gestured language. It includes insulting, offensive, or disapproving terms to any resident, regardless of their age or ability to comprehend, or regardless of their disability. Mental abuse. What is mental abuse? Humiliation, harassment, threats of punishment, deprivation. What is physical abuse? Can be hitting, slapping, pinching, kicking, any form of corporal punishment. What is sexual abuse? Unwelcome sexual advances, unwanted touching, requests for sexual favors, offensive sexual comments, rape, or sodomy. What is neglect? Failure to provide goods and services necessary for well-being, for the resident's physical, mental, or social well-being. Neglect could be ignoring a resident's need for help, not providing food or water, withholding care. What is involuntary seclusion? Separation of a resident from other residents, his or her room, confinement to a resident's room or other area, and it's against the resident's will. What is misappropriation of resident property? This could include stealing, deliberately misplacing belongings or money, using a resident's belongings without his or her consent, or for another resident without the resident's permission. So, to summarize, you've learned about the CMS definition of abuse and the different types of abuse, and examples of these types of abuse. So now we're going to move on to how do you recognize abuse, recognizing abuse. So the goals here are that you are able to recognize abuse and understand why certain situations might escalate to abuse. Now we're going to see some video clips to show us what abuse, different types of abuse might look like.
I'm sorry my visit's so short today. I have to go pick up Katie for her music lessons, but I can bring her by on Sunday. She can tell you all about it.
Tell her to bring her flute and play for me.
I will, Mom. Oh, I have to go. Mom, where's your watch? Your anniversary watch from Dad.
Oh, I keep it in the top dresser drawer. It's just too fancy to wear every day. And frankly, I don't need to know what time it is. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay. Well, I love that watch. It's so beautiful. Well, I have to go, and I think Tony is ready to take you to therapy, so bye, Mom. Thank you, Tony.
So everyone should think about what type of abuse do you think you saw in that clip. Let's move on. The next clip.
Wait,
Yes?
I got to go to the bathroom.
You have got to be kidding me. I just got you back into bed.
I know, but I really need to go to the bathroom.
I can't take you right now. Mr. Sampson's already pulled his cord 3 times. You don't want him to get all mad at me again, do you?
No, but I need to go to the bathroom.
I hear you. But you got a couple of clean pads under you, so just go.
But you are here. I've got to go to the bathroom.
Listen, what difference does it make if you go now or you go later? Either way, you're going to be wet in the morning.
I have this rash. The
I
nurse
never
said-
saw anything on you when I got you out of the shower. Now, who are you going to listen to? Look, I got to go. And I say, if you got to go, just go. They'll clean you up in the morning. Good night.
What type or types of abuse did you see in that video?
Morning, Mrs. Anderson. Time for your bath. Come on, Mrs. Anderson. It's 9:45. Time for your bath.
Not now. I'm watching this. Not now.
You're on the list today. You can watch TV when you get back.
I'm watching this.
You are taking a bath.
No, I don't want to.
Come on. Look, I just want to do my job and get you in the bath.
I don't want a bath.
Have you met Lester? Lester is just down the hall, and he likes helping special little queens like you.
No.
Okay, I've had it. Just because you're in rehab, you think you're better than everyone else. Well, you're not. You can't even wipe your own butt. You're just a mean little witch that needs me more than she thinks she does. Okay, this is what's happening. You're gonna sit there and you're gonna shut up. I'm gonna go get Lester, and you're having a bath. Now.
Think about what type or types of abuse you saw in that video. Next video. What type or types of abuse do you suspect from that video? Our next video.
Hey, what time
time you got, Arthur?
10 minutes. It's almost that time.
Oh, thank goodness. If you told me it was 1, I think I'd just collapse. I'm so beat.
Kind of like yesterday, huh?
And the day before that, yeah.
I have to go home.
Your turn.
Sorry, I was here till 3:30 with her yesterday.
Come on, Cindy. It's my day to pick up my kids from daycare.
Well, every day is my day to pick up my kids. See you tomorrow, Arthur. Have fun.
I need to go home. I need to go home. I need to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. I want to go home. It's time to be winning. I want to go home.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, I need to go home. I need to go home now.
Miss Caputo, you are home. You live here now.
No, it's time. My children, they're there. They're going to be
Miss
there.
Caputo, your children are grown. They don't even live around here anymore. Hey, there's a movie playing. You like movies, right? I bet there's a great movie playing. Let's go see the movie.
No.
Yeah, let's
I
go
have
see
to
the
go home
movie.
now.
Miss Caputo, you live here now.
I do not live here. I do not live
Miss
here.
Caputo.
I do not live here.
Miss Caputo, you live here now. Let's
No,
go see
I
the movie.
don't. I don't live here. I want to go home. I want to go home. I don't live here.
You're not going anywhere now. You're just going to go to your room, okay? You're going with me now, all right?
What are you still doing here, Arthur? You get off at 3, don't you? Just go. I got her.
You can have her. I'm out of here.
All right. Let me help you with this.
Can you help me go home? I don't like him.
I was looking all over to give you your snack anyway. Ready?
I really need to go home.
I understand, Mrs.
Go
Caputo.
home. I want to go home.
All right. All right.
I want to go home.
Think about what types of abuse you saw in that video. Next.
So how long have you been here? How long? Yeah. For a while? For a while. Yeah. Do you have children? Yes. Yeah? How many? 4. Four. Well, I've got a daughter. I've got one daughter. Yeah. You have girls? Or boys? Yes. Girls? Oh. I can't take this anymore. Oh, dear. Arthur, come here. Just look at him. We can't eat with him at our table. Not at our table.
Well, there's nowhere else to put him.
Put him in his room. Put him over there. Put him anywhere but here. It's disgusting and we don't like it.
We don't like it.
And we don't like him.
We don't like him.
I understand. I wouldn't want to sit next to him either. He's messier than my 1-year-old. The way he drools when he eats. I wouldn't want to sit next to him either, but all right. Fine, I'll find somewhere for him. Let's go, big guy. There. You're on your own now. Seriously? Now I've got another mess to clean up. I can't believe you did that. Oh. You know, you really are messier than my 1-year-old. There's more for me to do, and I always get stuck doing it.
What type or types of abuse do you think you saw in that video? So to summarize, you should have learned in this lesson about how to recognize abuse and how different situations can escalate to abuse. Now we're going to go forward and discuss signs of abuse, things that you might recognize in a resident that might be signs that abuse has occurred. So our goals are recognize signs that abuse may have occurred and realize the impact of abuse. Again, we're going to show some video clips as examples. First example.
I have to go home. I have to go home. I have to go home. Oh.
Hey, Gloria. How's Mrs. C today? Who? Mrs. Caputo. Oh, she's doing okay. I just gave her her snack. Hey, Mrs. C. How are you today?
I have to go home. No one will help me.
Yeesh, I didn't mean to hurt you. Can I have a look at that for you? Oh. What happened? Did you bump your arm?
I don't know.
Listen, I think I probably should get a nurse for this. Man, I wonder if Gloria knows what happened. Why don't you just stay here and have your cookies and juice, and I'll be right back, okay?
Yes, but I need to go home. I have to go home.
Listen, I understand. I'll be right back. I promise.
I have to go home.
What are some signs that something might have happened to Mrs. Caputo? Our next example.
Thanks, Lester. Oh, hey. Looks like your show's all over. Too bad. You know, if you hadn't caused so much trouble refusing to take your bath, you wouldn't have missed so much of it. Anyway, I'm all through with you. Hope you go home soon.
Knock, knock, Mrs. Anderson. This is Bill from therapy. You have an appointment with
No, go away.
Mrs. Anderson, it's me, Bill.
No, leave me alone.
It's me, Bill. It's okay. You're shaking. Let me take this wet towel off your shoulder. That must be uncomfortable for you. No Price is Right today? Your favorite? Let me change that for you. Oh, you're shivering. Here, let me put this sweater on. Hey, I'd be cold too with wet hair, if I had any hair. Is it okay if I dry your hair a little? Oh, I promise I'll be careful. And doesn't that sweater feel warmer? Is it okay if I dry your hair just a little? There we go. And does that feel better? Okay. Miss Anderson, it's such a pretty day out there today. Let's be a little late for therapy and take the long scenic route and walk outside. It'll feel good to have the sun dry your hair instead of me. Does that sound good to you?
Before we go, can you hand me my phone? I need to call my daughter.
Sure, I can do that for you. Here you are, Mrs. Anderson. Okay, here we go. Okay, what's your legs now? There we go.
From that clip, what are some signs something might have happened to Mrs. Anderson? Next example.
Hi, Mr. Maurer. It's Wendy. I've come to invite you to the ice cream social. We're having a group from the local school band performing for us. I know how you love music, and I wanted you to know about this. Are you sure? I made sure to have your favorite flavor, mint chocolate chip.
Hey,
How you doing?
did you ever get Mr. Maurer to attend that ice cream social?
No, he refused. Oh, Sue, I don't know what to do. He always used to love to be around everybody. All of a sudden, he just refuses to come out of his room for anything.
I know. That's not like him at all.
No, it's not like him. I've talked to all the aides, and nobody has any ideas. You know, I just feel so bad for him.
Well, keep trying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks. I'll talk to you later. Okay. All right.
What are some signs something might have happened to Mr. Maurer? So let's review signs of abuse. Physical signs could be bruises, scratches, pain, other skin injuries, fear, trembling, cowering, acting submissive, hesitating to talk or talking less, loss of eye contact, vacant stares, changes in behavior or mood, depression, crying, being suspicious of others, being aggressive, being defiant, belligerent, or hostile, withdrawing, isolating oneself, losing interest, changes in attitude toward caregivers, nervousness, jumpiness, pulling away. Those are all signs of abuse, possible signs of abuse. Now finally we're going to discuss reporting abuse. So our goals are that we understand that you are required to report abuse and to learn how to report and suspicion of crime. So the requirements for reporting abuse, the state and federal laws require that abuse must be reported. In general, nursing assistants are most likely to notice something's wrong because they're with the residents more directly. Professionally and legally, nursing home staff, all nursing home staff, and everyone in the facility, including volunteers and other departments, not just nursing, are required to report. Now, the reporting requirements in this video are saying that abuse must be reported immediately to the administrator. At the Jewish home, our administrator, Sandra Simon, is our abuse coordinator. She does need to be, all abuse does need to be reported to her, as well as to Edwin Cavagao, our CNE. However, immediately we must report to the State Department of Health, the Ombudsman, San Francisco Ombudsman, the local ombudsman here, and the local police, any incidents of abuse. The nursing home reports abuse within 24 hours and investigates and then sends a written report within 5 days, according to this video. However, at the Jewish home, we report immediately, as soon as possible, by phone to the Department of Health, the Ombudsman, and the police. And then the written report is filled out and the investigation started. And then the written report is generally faxed to the agencies within 24 to 48 hours. So you must report to both the state agency, in this case Department of Health, and local law enforcement, the police, and the Ombudsman. If there's serious injury, it should be reported no later than 2 hours. Here at the Jewish home, we would report it immediately, and for all other cases, no later than 24 hours. That's according to the law. It's important to know that there is protection against retaliation. No, the nursing home facility may not retaliate against covered individuals. Reporting and any retaliation against an individual who reports abuse can be reported to the state authorities. It is illegal, basically, for a facility to retaliate against anyone who reports abuse in that facility. So you're protected if you report. So it's important when you report abuse to know generally how to report it, and that basically means who to report to, what to report, where, and when, who it happened to, what happened, where it happened, and when it happened. So just to summarize, you want to give the resident the name, age, gender, the name of the nursing home facility, people responsible for the care, the suspected abuser, name and description, be specific if possible, witnesses with names and their descriptions. Reporting what happened, what you saw or heard, what was the extent of harm, if any, what signs of abuse or neglect are evident, what did the resident say if the resident reported it, and then after you interviewed them, what did other people say, witnesses, and have there been previous incidents with this particular resident or employee. Of course, you have to report where this suspected abuse happened and when it happened, including date and time. Remember when you're reporting not to interpret what happened. Just give the facts. So saying, for example, as in this clip, the aide was so angry and lost her temper, so she pushed the resident out of frustration, is giving your interpretation of what happened. It would be better to say the facts. Just factually, I walked down the hall toward the aide and the resident, The aide was attempting to keep the resident from exiting the building. She yelled at the resident, "Do not go there," and the resident yelled back, "I'm going." The aide told her not to go. The resident tried to open the door. The aide pushed the resident away from the door. The resident fell to the floor. That's giving like just factual statement of what occurred instead of your interpretation. So it's important to do that. Language you should not use is victim or alleged. We want to use the term resident and reported or suspected abuse, not alleged abuse. Always describe what happened instead of labeling what happened. And I'm not going to show this video clip of how to report. So actually that's the completion, the end of this presentation on abuse. So before we complete this presentation, I do want to remind everyone that we've just learned about reporting abuse, and that your obligation is to report abuse and suspicion of a crime. Everyone is a mandated reporter. And to let you all know that the information about the phone numbers and who to report to is on every unit. Every unit has an abuse binder that has the information about the agency's Department of Public Health, the San Francisco Ombudsman, Edwin Cabagao and Sandra Simon's phone numbers are in there, and the San Francisco local police department station is actually also posted on every unit now. So if you need to report, all of that information is on every unit. Again, thank you for attending this presentation.